Pep, squad news first of all. Any problems from the weekend? And you've got Ruben Dias back in training. Is he in consideration, part of your plans for tomorrow?
He travels with us, and the rest, all of them are fit.
No worries from Sunday?
No.
Excellent news. You've got the Premier League title still in your hands following Sunday. This tie, you have the advantage still in your hands. What type of game are you expecting by contrast from last week, really?
Well, we'll travel with a short result, with intention to win the game. Try to see the score in the last 5-10 minutes. It depends on what it is. So I think will be slightly different, like the first leg, because they play at home, and home they create the momentums, real ones, through their own game, because you are not playing good, for the passion that all the fans through the history they have. There will be moments that they will be so aggressive, higher, and create problems, and
just
adapt and try to defend in that moments.
Just finally on the intensity of these games you've had over the past week, it's quite incredible, really. Players love to play, of course, but is it difficult for them to manage physicality-wise and
in that period? In that period, no. So we are close to end of the season. 1 month and a half. We have to be grateful to be here. I would love to have more time to prepare this game and the next ones and the next ones, but it's because we have done so far really well, and in that moment you are not tired. When you are so close to reach a semi-final of the Champions League, or next Saturday to reach the FA Cup, you are not tired. You can lose because make a bad performance or the opponent is better, but not because you are not tired. In that period, it does not exist.
Hi Pep. So does Ruben have a chance of playing tomorrow night and against Liverpool later in the week?
From the beginning tomorrow, no. During the game, I don't know. But from the beginning, no. Played one training session today, so 6 weeks off. So it's a little bit premature, but the fact is he's come back is an incredible note in this tight schedule that we have until the end of the season. If just in case we go through in the competition, so everyone's would be important. Ruben it is.
And can I just ask, Fernandinho has just said he's leaving at the end of the season. When did you find out about that, and how disappointing is it that he's not staying on?
Sorry?
Fernandinho has said that he's leaving at the end of the season.
Oh. I didn't know it.
Is that news to you?
Simon, you gave me the news.
Sorry about that.
I didn't know it. So we will see what happens in the end of the season. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So Fernandinho's, I said many times, so important for me, and it's coming the nice period, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I will talk to him. I would say, Simon told me this. Is it true? That's all.
Pep, you've talked about how you're sort of enjoying managing. You're a lot calmer these days, and your team's playing just really lovely football, has done last 4 or 5 years. Do you feel you're at the peak of your powers as a manager at the moment?
Peak of
your powers as a manager. Powers. Your sort of abilities.
I don't know yet. So no, I feel good myself. My staff helped me to be more relaxed than I was in the beginning, and I trust a lot with the players. And that's all. But before the game, always can happen, and I know how it works this world. So how we change up and downs, and opinion, positive and negative, not just for the manager, for the team, but depends on the result. But I travel there to win the game, so to try to do good performance and try to win the game. This is what we have to do.
Does it excite you how much better your team could be potentially?
Yeah, definitely. Can be better. Yeah, can be better. It's just to figure out how we can. So we'll be different. What I said, your colleague, will be slightly different for the fact we play here than they were defending most of the time. There is not going to happen. There are moments that we have to be ready to defend with a good build-up, because they will be so intense. They are. It's a warmly stadium with the people, support the team incredible, leading for the manager. So and you have to adapt. And when we are able to break them and they defend deep, we try to, if we are able to create more chances than the first leg, knowing that Atletico Madrid in knockout stage is so difficult. So it's so difficult. So I said to the team after that, so you did it perfectly, guys. So because we play against a team like it's easy to watching from outside. When you're inside, to realize it's not difficult. It's the biggest quality they have, but we're going to try. We're going to try.
Just on Fernandinho again, sorry, will you try and persuade him to stay? Or?
I said with all the cases, at the end of the season we will talk. Maybe it's a family decision, maybe because one more minute that they have this season, and I don't know. I would love to. I would speak with him, of course, but in this kind of situations, at the end of the season, we're going to talk.
And even though he's not playing very regularly, you've spoken about his role before. How important would he be on a night like tomorrow?
Listen, the role of Fernandinho, I said many times this season, the people like. Listen, I like the types of the persons or the players, like they behave for the benefit of him behind the scenes and nobody knows it. Today we have to do something, everybody knows exactly what we have done, because everybody have to say, oh, how nice you are. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. And I know what he has done behind me without knowing. I knew it later, what he handled many of the biggest stars that we have without anyone knows it, for the benefit of the team. This is a real captain. That's why I praise him, and I arrived and he was here. A few players was Raheem is there, Kevin. I think I arrived with Gundo, John, and a few players. So we know each other well. And since day one until today, it was an incredible football player for Manchester City. Incredible. Above, beyond for the trophies in the minutes and everything he has done. There are things that nobody knows, but I know exactly what he does.
Hi Pep. Just back to team news. Will Cole Palmer travel tomorrow?
It's much better. I don't think it's trouble. I think the trouble. Now you're going to finish the list. But yesterday feels better, today training. And we will see. If he feels fit and he feels okay, maybe it's trouble, yeah.
Because there was talk of surgery at one point. Is that something that's still on the table?
He feels better. We try to avoid it. The surgery, we try to avoid it. But since Peterborough is 1 month and a half, he could not play 1 minute more because he was injured. And the doctor came last days and said, we're going to try to avoid it, hopefully.
Okay, thanks guys. We'll take someone to you now. We'll start with Jack.
The run to the Champions League final last year was sort of built on how good you were defensively. Obviously, if you don't concede a goal tomorrow, you go through. How important has your defensive structure been over the last few years to create a platform to winning trophies?
Absolutely. To win trophy, you have to be solid, concede few goals. More than that, concede few chances. And you have to defend well when we don't have the ball, and try to defend well having the ball. This is what we're going to do. So we concede one corner against Liverpool when the average is 5 or 6 or 7 for game. It's what we do with the ball, the best way to defend in the way we want to play. But there are moments that we don't have the ball, and there are set pieces, throw-ins, corners, long balls, second balls, attack channels, runners, shoot of plays and runners, shoot of play and runners. And that, of course, we have to defend. Yeah, definitely. So you cannot achieve things if you are not concede few as a team. I said many times, we are not an exceptional team individually defensively. If you talk with Kevin or Riyad or Phil or Gundo, they are not we could not consider they are defensive players. But altogether we run as a team since day one, and that makes us solid as a team. And of course, we are not solid tomorrow. It will be difficult to get semi-finals.
Fred?
Hi, Pep. You said you just discovered that Fernandinho is leaving. Would it be nice for him to tell you first than telling us?
he decided to, maybe Chiki knows it and didn't tell me, or maybe an agent know it, didn't tell me. So I don't know, it was a surprise for me, I didn't know it, so now in the canteen I'm going to say, hey, what happened? I'm leaving, so he's going to do. But I know his intentions, and honestly, another player or another situation said, oh, we do it for the benefit, or want to hide me something. It's, knowing Fernandinho, I'm pretty sure it's not. It just, it happened, it happened.
He said that he wants to play more, he wants to have more game time, and that's why he's coming back to Brazil. Can you understand that?
Absolutely.
Can you see many years of football ahead of him still?
Absolutely. I said many times, I want the happiness of my players. I want the players happy, and absolutely, we are going to play tomorrow for him. We're going to try to play tomorrow for him and give him the best farewell moment, reaching again the semi-final of the Champions League, and after try to go through again. So, yeah, and I understand. So they play with happiness, and they want to play. It's completely normal, understandable, but not because he has 35, 36 years old. It's because, not just for that. Even for the player with 22, 23, have a contract. I want to play. I want to keep on play. I want to leave. I understand completely. Look what happened with Ferran Torres. You want to play more? Come there, leave, go. Talk with the club, and that's all. So I understand. I don't want anyone not satisfied. Fernandinho at the age, maybe the family issues, well, wife, kids, welcome back, the last years to Brazil, be the family, father, mother there. So, and I'm pretty sure the club is going to help him to achieve what he wants.
Last couple in English, guys. We'll take one from Paul Hurst and then one from David McDonald.
Hi, Pep. I just want to ask you a question about Edison. There was a moment on Sunday where the ball went really kind of close to his line while Jota was herring in on it, but he seemed very relaxed. What was going through your mind at that point, and is he the most relaxed goalkeeper that you've worked with?
It's crazy. No, this guy is crazy, honestly. Listen, sometimes I think if he doesn't feel something, it's top for me, for a keeper, it's top to have that feeling. Concede a goal, is calm, make the safest in his life. He's calm. It's so stable, and as a keeper, it's fantastic. But for we are outside, it's completely different, because in that moment I thought could not be as closer as after I saw the image on TV, in the frame, and on this paper on the TV, is 1 inch to the goal, and it doesn't matter. But it's what it is. That is what it is. It's like this, and it's so good. It's so good because it's so stable. Doesn't feel the pressure. And he forget the most important thing in football, and Eddie is a big example. Is you have to forget the previous action as quick as possible, good or bad, and he forget immediately. The save is calm, thinking next one, mistake that he does few. The risk he play the ball, counting the mistakes is nothing, and just in case it happen, next action is ready to the next one, and this is really good as a keeper.
Paul, David?
Fernandinho shows experience in firstly coming onto the pitch to take Jack Grealish away from a difficult situation. You know that tomorrow night the crowd will be hostile, their players will try and provoke your players. Do you feel you'll have to reinforce that message for the players not to get involved in any kind of situations where they could be provoked and maybe get a yellow or red card that could damage you?
We have to play our game. So we have done these years, and it's not for tomorrow. Always we speak, we have to finish with 11 in knockout stages, focus in our game plan, feel everyone that I will be the star, I want to win this game, I want to help the guys, the other ones, and the message is not going to, for 1 second, is going to be different that we have done all the time. So focus in the plan and what they do as a team, what do you have to be careful in the situations, and try to, it depends on how they defend, in the areas where they defend, what do you have to do in different areas, if they defend it, what happen, how you can break them more often, control the transitions, like they are really, really good, and yeah, all the stuff that we prepare. All the stuff that we prepared, so do it as well as possible.
Thank you, guys. We'll take a couple in Spanish.
Okay.
We have a question from Javier Chavez.
Javier Chavez.
You can unmute yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, Pep. Seeing the game last week, Kevin De Bruyne played well. Finding spaces was difficult last week. Have you thought of any way that you can find more space for people like Kevin this week? And I think it's important that that Atletico close down the space. And do you think they'll have more opportunities on goal? I think final of the Champions League against Chelsea, I got everyone together. That's how things can go sometimes. I tried to get everyone together after the. We've got people all over the field who can eliminate players on the field. Kevin is good when he attacks the spaces. He's very good at that. Between the lines as well. It's very difficult to find spaces between the lines with Atletico Madrid. When he goes one-on-one against the player, he's almost unstoppable. He combines well with other players as well. He's got a great intuition as to where to go to find the spaces on the field. I think he deserves all the praise he gets. I think the goal that he scored was down to his great quality. When he's physically on top form and he's been playing regularly, he's an amazing player in terms of attacking space, whether it be a huge space or a reduced space. Hopefully, he finds a little bit more space tomorrow.
Javier.
Javier Garcia? There you are. By the way, with the question.
We see him, but he doesn't hear us.
Javier Garcia.
Me temo que es que estamos repitiendo otra vez. O sea, me están.
I think there's feedback or something. Okay. Ladislao.
Javier García, entonces no sé por qué.
Exacto.
Okay. In which case, Javier Gomez Chavez.
No tengo más preguntas. O sea,
Hola.
He said, I haven't got any more questions.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Pep? Javier Gómez de la cadena COPE. Ahora no sé si me puede escuchar.
Perfecto.
This is Javier from Cadena COPE.
Buenas tardes. Mi pregunta va porque
I was asking that last week, before the first leg,
ha recibido muchas críticas el Cholo y el Atlético de Madrid en la última semana. Recuerdo alguna de Arrigo Sacchi, de Van Basten. Le han preguntado al Cholo en rueda de prensa. También se malentendió su frase sobre la prehistoria.
The phrase that you mentioned about football, two lines of five being from football in prehistoric times. in comparison to previous managers like Saki in the past, who've been quite defensive. I don't know if does Cholo deserve more respect than he's getting as a manager, because he's viewed to be. If he'd won here, he wouldn't have been criticised. They only criticise managers when we lose, and that's what it is. There's nothing else you can add to that. You know, if you win, we're great. If we lose, he's given Atletico Madrid a decade of success. He's not done things badly. He's done many times. Many times. We get praise when we win. We're the best trainer ever. But then when we lose, it's terrible. As regards, I think it's very, very clear, my answer. Hi. I don't know if you can hear me well. Yes, perfectly well. What sort of game do you expect tomorrow? Atletico need to score at least one goal. Do you think it'll be a different sort of game than we saw last week? Will there be moments when they have to attack and press? It will be a different game for sure. It won't be anything like the game last week. They're playing at home with their fans behind them. And from what I remember, when I've played knockout games, quarters, semis in the last few years, they have some really exciting moments in the Calderon, now in the Wanda. They put you under pressure, they create problems, they defend, and they do hit you on the counter, but they're going to be more intense in the top half of the field than they were the other night. And we'll have to adapt to how they play. If we're losing, if we're behind, we'll be going with everything to try and get it back. But if we're on top, we'll be careful and maybe sit a little bit deeper and keep the ball and defend that way. But for sure, I'm expecting a totally different game. At certain moments, yes, for sure.